Hello and welcome. Today we are in the new Tier 9 French destroyer, the Orage. The ship was given to me by Wargaming. She is the Tier 9 of the new French Tech Tree destroyer line. She is a torpedo destroyer just like the Cassard. Well, she's essentially like Cassard, just worse, because she is Tier 9. The main big difference is that the Cassard has 4 torpedo launchers of 3 torpedoes each, 2 on each side. The Orage, on the other hand, has 1 central launcher and 1 torpedo launcher on each side. So a total of 9 torps, but you can only put 6 on target, just like the Cassard. In other aspects, they're just very similar. The Orage has a little bit less gunfire power, the torpedoes hit for a little bit less damage, they're a little slower, they have a little less range, 12 kilometers instead of 13.5. But overall, well, she's a Tier 9 destroyer, right? So she's still extremely dangerous to other destroyers that she meets. Possibly even maybe a little more dangerous. So these 23,000 damage torpedoes going 77 knots are pretty scary for destroyers. Goodbye, Johnston. This is why I launched those torpedoes. I know that destroyers do that a lot. I am terrified whenever I do that, for that exact reason. The ship also struggles massively with aircraft carriers. Luckily, we are in a match without one, so we don't have to worry about planes constantly buzzing overhead and ruining all of our torpedo runs. On top of that, because we managed to take care of the enemy DD with a single torpedo very quickly, well, now we get to just go and torp all of these battleships. I would recommend using the same captain skill build and the upgrades as on the Cassard. You'll notice that there's a bit of a difference, but that's because during testing on Tier 9 we don't get a 21 point captain, so I had to make do with a little bit less, so I took torpedo flooding chance. But the build that you should actually be going for is still this one. You focus on your torpedoes, you take your adrenaline rush, concealment expert, survivability expert, and obviously last stand. And the last 3 points you put on the gunfire power and anti-air, but it's not that important. It's not gonna make a big difference. So, we want to get as close as we can to torpedo these guys. We must pay close attention to not getting spotted though, otherwise they will know exactly where we are and then avoiding the torpedoes becomes way easier. I think we're gonna hit this on the Shanwu. Good, we even got a flooding. One of the things that I do when I want to make sure that I don't get spotted is I look at the minimap, right? And what I do is I look at my concealment circle, the 6 kilometers, right? And then I project it forward based on where I'm going. Basically, just draw the circle forward ahead of you. And then you will know if you're going to overlap with something and if you're going to fit through this gap. For example, right now I can't fit between the Musashi and the North Carolina. But I think soon enough the NC will be far enough that it will be possible. Also, for example, right now, even if I try to go parallel to the Musashi, we are obviously going to, or she will actually spot me if I do that. So I do need to head a little bit in the North Carolina's direction. In fact, I might have to even run away directly, just to make sure I don't get spotted. But yeah, the concealment circle is basically what you want to make sure avoids all of the battleships. Oh, nice, 2 torpedoes on the Shanwu. I don't think those follow-ups are gonna hit though. We did hit one on the Musashi as well, that's great. Yeah, these are not gonna hit. So the central torp launcher has 30 seconds left. Unfortunately, this side of launcher has 50 seconds left. The other one has 40. I guess we'll launch those on the North Carolina then. I have to make sure I don't get too close to him as well, because if he turns into me, I might be in a little bit of trouble right now. I have to get a little closer to Musashi, but as you can see, the circle can squeeze between the 2 ships right now, and I should go unspotted. Although that Poltava is also very close. I might actually get spotted by the Poltava. Okay, no, I should be fine now. Yeah, I'm very close to being spotted by all of them. If they had only left a little bit smaller gap between them, I wouldn't have fit through. But since they did, well, I can just chill right here. Because the Musashi seems to be, well, chilling as well. So I might as well try to land some torpedoes. She's playing with her speed, which makes actually landing these torpedoes pretty difficult. Yeah, these didn't hit anything. Oh, she's going forward now. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit the Musashi. By the way, I will hit the North Carolina. I think we might hit... I think it's only one. Yeah. It's okay though. That still did 18,000 damage almost. I don't know if I even get to torpedo the Musashi again. She might just die before that. 28 seconds until torps are ready. Man, it's really nice when there are no destroyers or CVs bothering you, isn't it? You just park outside of the concealment range from a battleship and you just sit there and torp. And there isn't all that much they can do about... Oh, North Carolina is heading in my direction. Yeah, good thing I caught it early. I think he's gonna turn out though, because he wants to angle against my team's battleships. There is a little bit of worry though, because the Shanwu is also heading closer. So I might get pincered by the two battleships at the moment. But I have full HP. I think what I could do is I could basically turn towards one of them and just go full speed. Because I think just one set of torpedoes will be enough to sink him. Yeah, let's do that to the Shanwu, since she's the further one anyway. I'm not gonna launch the torps now because I wouldn't have any follow-up later. I'm gonna keep my damage control party, just in case they accidentally knock out one of the torp tubes, so that I can repair to actually launch. Okay, she doesn't seem to actually be angling that much, so it should be okay. These torpedoes do look on point. Oh my god, that was a lot of damage. A lot more than I expected. But the torpedoes are on point, and she is gone. Wow, we actually needed all three. But now we are outside of the detection range of the North Carolina. So all we gotta do is make sure we don't die until we go undetected. And then turn around and try to torp him again. It was a bit of a dangerous maneuver, but sadly I did get pincered by them. It was a decent move by them, except of course that I think it was completely unintentional, because if it was intentional, the Shanwu should have actually tried to dodge. I think the NC is gonna turn away. Maybe even do a full turnaround. I'm not sure if the torpedoes are on point. The question is mostly when will the North Carolina do that? Because there's a chance she tries to hide behind the island, but I think that's kind of slim. This current set was based on the fact that she might actually go behind the island, but no, she clearly isn't. I don't think the first set is gonna land either. Hopefully this one does, but I don't think I'm gonna get to torp the NC again. I think the Adatara and friends are gonna take care of her. I think my next priority should be trying to go after the Karl Johan. Maybe we'll even run into the Mogador. We'll see. I don't have the most amount of HP, but neither does Mogador, so maybe it'll be fine. I'm thinking of firing, but honestly it doesn't make much sense. I would give away my position, and you might say, well, you were spotted anyway, and that's true, but the Mogador and Karl Johan might not have paid attention to it. They definitely will pay attention to it if I actually, pop up right now. Oh, there's a healthy Scharnhorst too. Well, it's always a little annoying to see battleships full HP, even though basically the game is already over because your team has lost. Because it means the battleships didn't do their tanking, something that their team clearly needed. Okay, there's the Karl Johan. Is she gonna turn in? No, she's turning out. Okay. Well, in that case, she's probably gonna go roughly broadside to me, right? So we should lead a little more than normal. Although she might actually turn back to shoot. That's a possibility. Because a lot of players actually still do that. Yeah, see? He stayed angled just to be able to shoot. I want to launch the other set too. I don't launch it quite as far on the grey line because I think she's gonna either get hit by these torpedoes or will take evasive actions, which requires them to turn in, or to slow down, which will obviously, you know, make the grey line not be accurate. Okay, 2 hits, 36,000 damage. Wow. Okay, I did misjudge the last set of torps. I probably should have launched them on the grey line after all. The Karl Johan is now flooding. I could help along with some of my guns, but I'm not the healthiest. This flooding is pretty good. Although if he repairs his flooding, I think I'm gonna shoot. 5k, 4k, 2k, and oh, Amagi got him. But it's okay. The question is, where is the Mogador? Are we gonna run into him? I guess we'll find out soon. Okay, we actually see the torpedoes, so we know where the Mogador is. So he has basically 2 choices. He's gonna go either side of this island. I'm not sure which one. Probably the gap one instead of the edge. Oh, there she is. Hello, Mogador. I am a fast French destroyer with pretty good guns as well. Would you like to trade some gunfire? She actually has more HP than I do, but I don't think it's gonna save her. Yep. Goodbye, Mogador. Oh no, she actually dodged by slowing down. Well done. But it won't save you now. What a nice game. We farmed 205k damage. By the way, this is a 9 versus 9 match, I believe. Not even a full match. And we got a nice 200k damage. Overall, I would say the Orage felt worse to play than the Cassard. Just because you're a tier 9 destroyer, so you end up in tier 10 battles all the time. And when that happens, well, you're just not as strong as other tier 10 ships. And so that just kind of feels a little bad. Because it just happens so much. But I mean, she definitely can hold her own as long as there are no CVs around that bother you. So it doesn't really matter whether the CV just fights on the other side of the map or just isn't in the game. Either way, you know, as long as the CV doesn't bother you, you're golden. I am very much looking forward to this DD line. Wow, 47,000 damage with fires and flooding, and flooding is 46k of that. Damn. Those were some very nice torpedo hits though. Thank you, Johnston. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.